Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dr. Janine Show. I'm so happy to have you all here today. This is going to be a great show. There's a lot of great information in today's show, so you have to pay attention. Don't forget, we do have quiz questions coming out throughout the show. It's all fun, and it's all about learning and how to empower yourself over the healing of your own body, mind, and spirit. That's what we're doing. Okay, we are talking about what to look for. I get so many questions about what to look for in good versus not so good. So synthetic vitamins, that's what we're focusing in on today. Some things specifically to look for on labels that are going to indicate that it is a fake synthetically made vitamin. Okay, so that's really important because I know a lot of people take vitamins and there's a lot of confusion out there. We're also talking about hormones today. We'll be talking about, yes, that insulin resistance, metabolic syndrome, leptin resistance. We're also focusing in on different types of probiotics. So for gut health, if you have any types of issues with the gas, the bloating, the poor digestion, you're gaining weight, we are going to dive right into probiotics and again, why it's so important to take care of that healthy gut, that healthy microbiome. Please say hello. Let me know where you're from. Now, if you missed last week's show, we talked about blood sugar. We talked about weight loss as well. We talked about fillers and flow agents. We also talked about the benefits of sourdough bread. So who loves their sourdough bread? I hope you all are loving today's show. Please say hello. Thank you for all the hearts that come in. Make sure that you share today's live as well. And it's going to be a fun, jam-packed show today. Okay, let's get started. Now, what is the first thing that we will talk about? Now, when we're talking about balancing hormones, it's so important that we are optimizing something called leptin resistance. And that's something that's so important. We will be coming back and talking about our probiotics and what to look for in probiotics as well. But let's talk about being aware of those synthetic vitamins. So I'm going to grab it really quickly again because this is something that a lot of people don't realize. And there is this whole world, something called whole food vitamins. Well, what does that mean? Well, whole food vitamins, if it's a good, true whole food vitamin, means that it's coming directly from nature. And that's something that is really, how Mother Nature intended for us to get all of our vitamins and our micronutrients and the phytonutrients that are naturally occurring in, of course, fruits and vegetables and other things that we're, eating in our healthy diet. And that's a great way as an insurance policy to make sure that you're, covering up the bases because not everybody is getting everything that they need in their daily diet. And because of our farming and our soils and everything is so depleted, so even if you are eating in a healthy way, you're not necessarily getting all of those nutrients that you need from your healthy diet. And that's why a lot of people go to taking vitamins and you think you're getting a natural vitamin, but most times it is going to be synthetic. I'd say probably about 90 to 95% of the vitamins out there, multivitamins and things, are synthetically derived. And this is something that people just simply don't realize. And you're, doing your best, what you think is best for your health, and yet it is not the best thing for your vitamins, okay? So here's what I want you to look for. And let's look really quickly at a label. So maybe we'll come over here. And what I want you to look for, if you are taking, this is an example of a multivitamin, and I've got one here as well. So you're gonna look at that long list of ingredients. So it's got your vitamin A, your beta carotene, your vitamin E, your vitamin C, and look at what it says in the bracket. So for instance, vitamin A says as acetate, beta carotene. Vitamin E says D-alpha tocopherol acetate. Vitamin C, ascorbic acid. Folate, folic acid. Folic acid does not occur in nature. That is synthetically derived. Vitamin B1, thiamine mononitrate. Vitamin B2, riboflavin, niacinamide. Look at B6, pyridoxine hydrochloride. I want you to look at this one too. This is one of the most important ones to realize. Vitamin B12, cyanocobalamin. Well, you know what the cyano stands for? It stands for cyanide. Yes. Synthetically derived nutrients, fake vitamins. And most of you may be taking this type of vitamin. Hey, if you take vitamins, put a thumbs up, put a 1 in the comments. I want to see who you are. And it's okay, you're just learning, which is great information, but that's why I like to share this information. You want to look for a true whole food vitamin, and some of the whole food vitamins that are out there, they're still synthetically derived. So what they'll do is they'll use these synthetic ingredients, they'll pump up plants or a yeast product with these synthetic vitamins, and then they extract the yeast, and so it's not truly whole food. because it was synthetically derived to begin with. So you really have to do your due diligence and really trust in the brand and a true whole food vitamin, meaning that what you see on the label is things like fruits, vegetables, and they are freeze-dried and maybe concentrated to be able to get it into the capsule. That's a true whole food vitamin. And of course, the absorption of that is going to be so much better for your body and your cellular health. Say hello, hello. Who is here today? Hello, hello. It's nice to see you, Clara, Dwayne. Good to see you. E1 Carilla, hello. Thank you so much for tuning in. Atomy Jules, Road Who, yes, a lot. Tweety, TW Tweety is here in the house. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hitting that share button. Fantastic. And yes, user 39, I know a lot of people simply don't realize this about vitamins, and that's why I love to educate here at the Dr. Janine Show so that you really can do your best, of course, for yourself and of course for your health. Hello, Gigi, who in Illinois, south of Chicago. Nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in today. Raina, hello. Good morning, sunshine. Nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in. So great to have you all here. Thank you for hitting that share button. And hey, if you're here for the first time, please make sure that you follow and make sure that you are subscribed. Okay, let's continue. So we will be talking, and I forgot to mention this off the top of the show, and I'm going to be sharing a fantastic hair rinse for you. And this is amazing to remove any buildup, and it will help with hair growth. Amazing, helping to cleanse the scalp really well. So that is coming up. Now let's talk, and I promised we would talk about those hormones. And this ties into your thyroid health. This ties into your metabolism. This ties into, and we'll talk about some autoimmune disorders today as well, as this is related to something called leptin. Okay, so what is leptin and leptin resistance? This is so important that we're understanding this. Okay, so I'm going to ask the cameras to come right in here because this is a bit of a review for those of you who have followed me before. This is going to be brand new for those of you who are here and are watching my content for the first time. Okay, what is leptin? Leptin is a hormone that's given off by our fat cells. Okay, and what it does is it's supposed to signal the brain in times of feast and famine if we have enough body fat to keep us warm, to be able to convert that body fat into food as well, into glucose via gluconeogenesis. It's one of those mechanisms that our body has to create more sugar, so to run our entire system, we have that ability. So this leptin signaling between our fat cells and the brain is very, very important because it controls a lot of different things like inflammation. So that is something that when we have that weight gain and increase in fat, because we have something called the leptin resistance, which I'll get to, now we have higher CRP, C-reactive protein, which is an inflammatory marker. It's something that can be tested in your blood. Then we get that leptin. Now, that leptin complex with the CRP is now not going to be able to enter back into the brain, into the hypothalamus, to read that we've got enough leptin. So the brain is reading low leptin. Low leptin means go get more food. And this is why people struggle and struggle. And this may be you. Maybe you've tried to do the diet. You've tried to restrict the calories. You've increased the exercise, which causes a bit more inflammation and can make this all worse. And that weight simply is not coming off. Well, this is tied back to that leptin resistance, okay? So it has to do with inflammation in the brain. It's not even so much about the diet and what you're eating anymore. It's affecting your leptin reception, okay? So this is something you're going to be craving those carbohydrates. You start to gain more weight. Now you've got increased blood sugar, as well as when you're lacking in specific nutrients with leptin resistance, makes it so much worse, like zinc, like DHA, magnesium. And now you're overeating, so you're increasing that food intake because you're hungry all the time because of that leptin resistance. Guess what? You get more fat. And more fat cells are secreting more leptin. Now what happens? We go around the cycle again. We have more inflammation. Now that leptin is blocked, it can't get into the brain. That is the leptin resistance. Okay, so this is so important because it's often the leptin resistance that happens first before we get to the insulin resistance. So if you're pre-diabetic, your blood sugars are not stabilized, you're craving sugar all the time, this is probably what's happening. And there are different things that we can test in the blood. It's something that I've mentioned in other episodes and other posts that you can check out, but this is so important. Okay, I want to say hello. Now, isn't this interesting? I want to say hello and call out our viewers spotlight. So every week I like to call out, hello Kushi Singh in India. Nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in every week. Rihanna, thank you for the follow, and thanks to everybody who's following. And Asha, thank you for tuning in from Singapore. And Fabian, Mason. Good morning. Good morning. Nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in, Mason in Winnipeg. And hello, hello. And we are here in Ontario, Canada. Nice to have you here. So thank you for tuning in. So every week I like to call out, someone who has shared some great news. And this is our viewer spotlight. And this is really fantastic news because so here we're going because this is fantastic. This is Crystal Davidson, and I appreciate you and all your videos. Really big thank you from Crystal. So thank you so much. Amazing, amazing. I'm so glad that the videos are helping you and that all my content is helping you. Hey, if you're here for the first time, make sure that you are hitting that subscribe button. Thank you so much for tuning in and that you're hitting that like button. I see all those hearts coming in, so thank you so much. Amazing, and all those gifts coming in as well. Thank you, Ramona. Very, very generous of you. Oh my goodness, thank you for supporting the channel. And don't forget, it's all about making sure that we are educating and educating and educating, because when you are educated about your own health, you're empowered and you can make some better decisions for yourself. And that's why I do what I do. So I'm so happy to have you all here. We have such a great following, a big family here at the Dr. Janine Show. Fantastic to have you all here. Okay, now let's get back to the leptin resistance, that hormonal imbalance that may be causing you to either gain weight, but it can go the other way as well, because this is related to autoimmunity, which is something we'll talk about. It can cause Graves' disease and a super fast metabolism as well. And I know some people would say, oh, I'd rather have the super fast metabolism, not the slow metabolism, but yes, still a problem in terms of maintaining a healthy body weight. But let's talk and go through some of the causes of what causes this leptin resistance in the first place. Okay, we will be talking about probiotics as well. I've had a lot of questions about that from my viewers, so make sure that you're staying tuned for that. Okay, let's see, what does cause this leptin resistance? Number one, PUFAs. Who knows what PUFAs are? Polyunsaturated fatty acids, the very inflammatory fats, refined seed oils, canola oil, vegetable oil. Get them out of your house, get them out of your life. Do not eat packaged food that contains these oils. They're very, very inflammatory and can cause that weight gain and that leptin resistance. Of course, too many refined carbohydrates as well. Not good, because you're going to be gaining extra fat, and the fat is going to increase those leptin levels. Okay, number two on the list is alcohol. Unfortunately, has a negative effect on our leptin receptors and depletes our vitamin A very quickly, and can cause a lot of problems in terms of that hormonal imbalance and that weight gain as well. Okay, number three on the list is insulin. Yeah, so insulin resistance. Now, leptin and insulin are very closely tied, so this is something that you definitely want to make sure that if you've got insulin problems, that we are actually addressing that leptin problem first. Okay, number four is lack of sun. So vitamin D, very important, but also all of the other attributes of natural sunlight exposure and our circadian rhythms has a lot to do with our hormones, and especially our leptin signaling. So that's really important. Getting that natural sunlight exposure every single day, getting outside, super important no matter what season it is. Okay, number five on the list, not being grounded. So you often hear me talking about getting grounded, get your bare feet on the earth as much as possible. Really important for that leptin signaling as well. Okay, number six is not getting hot enough or cold enough. This is so important. So what we want to do is to make sure that we are optimizing our exposure to our temperatures, which is amazing. So getting cold sometimes, getting hot, really, really important. Okay, now please hit that share button before we continue to number 7, blue light. So yeah, when we talk about blocking blue light, especially when we're under artificial lights, we've got our blue light blocking glasses on when we're on our devices. I hope everybody, please put some glasses in the comments. I hope everybody's, if you're on your phones or your whatever, your tablets and things, please put some glasses in the comments if you've got your blue light blocking glasses on. I hope everybody's got them on, okay? Super, super important. So blue light, EMF exposure as well, so to our cell phone, radiation, Wi-Fi, and all these things, messes up our circadian rhythms, messes up our leptin signaling as well, can lead to that weight gain. That's what the research shows. Really important. Okay, number 8, stress. Of course, yeah, stress is going to offset your cortisol levels and, of course, is going to not be helpful in terms of that overall inflammation in your body and leads to more leptin resistance. And number 9 on the list is inflammation. So this is important. Number 10 is, of course, number 10, Oh, there it is. Okay, leaky gut syndrome. Yes, so that gut health, remember we're going to be talking about probiotics. That's something that's so important, that we are optimizing our healthy microbiome. Really important, because that leaky gut, when those tight junctions in the gut open up and now our immune system is reacting to this, this is not great for that overall systemic inflammation, but it's also going to compromise our leptin signaling. And with that leaky gut, that can lead to that autoimmunity, which we will be talking about as well today. Okay, so I hope everybody's loving today's show. Please say hello, Kathy. Yeah, Kathy has got her blue. Those even have blue lenses. How did you do that, Kathy? Amazing, amazing. I see that. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Sugar Drop has blue blockers on as well. I'm happy to see that. And TW Tweety has her blue blocker, or his blue blockers on. Amazing, amazing. Gigi, who, awesome. Blue blocking glasses. Love to see that emoji that the lenses are actually blue on there. I never noticed that. So amazing, amazing. Okay. Let's go through some of the symptoms. So how do we know that we actually have leptin resistance to begin with? We will be talking about more of those diseases and autoimmunity, thyroid issues coming up in just a second, as this is related to, of course, our leptin resistance. Now, please, we have something new. I want you saw what was on the screen there. Please tune in tomorrow. So on Wednesdays now, we have a new Q&A, because I can't answer everybody's questions when we're live here in the live show on Tuesdays. So please tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll have the opportunity to sit down with me and answer, and I'll be able to answer your questions, okay? So that will be amazing. It will be happening tomorrow, so please tune in tomorrow. I'm super excited about that, all right? Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Here we go. Now, let's talk about some of those symptoms of leptin resistance. Number 1, you're craving carbs. So remember, if you're just tuning in now, I showed you a slide that showed, yes, that craving for carbohydrates especially, but food in general, because that leptin signaling in the brain is messed up, so you're hungry all the time. So yeah, that does not look good. I don't know, this time of day, that juicy burger, I don't know, but you're hungry all the time, yes, and because of that leptin resistance. Number 2, maybe you've gained the weight, especially around the midsection, that belly fat, because of the hormones being out of whack, and very difficult to get rid of that belly fat. I've got hacks for that. If you've been following for a while, you know some of the things. We can actually maybe come back to that towards the end of the show, my belly fat hacks. If you want to see that, just keep that in your mind and put it in the comments, and we'll come back to that. But if you do yo-yo dieting and you just have difficulty staying focused on that weight loss, it's not coming off, it's very frustrating, and despite your best efforts, you're not losing that weight, leptin resistance. Okay, number 3, weight loss. So like I said earlier, this can go the other way. So you can get hyperthyroidism because of that leptin signaling that's messed up, okay? So with potentially Graves' disease even. Okay, thank you for everybody who's here for the first time. Yes, Moni, yes, don't worry, we'll be getting to some tips to help you out. Great to have you here. Thank you for the follow, and all my new followers, please hit that share button as well. If you can hit it 5-10 times, that would be great. Thanks for all those likes and tapping your screen, guys. That is amazing. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, now let's get to number 4 is, of course, poor sleep, another symptom of leptin resistance. Your leptin is secreted when you're sleeping. Your melatonin hopefully is being properly secreted at that time when you're in that deep sleep, so that's important. Poor sleep, another symptom of leptin resistance, and tossing and turning and not having that restful sleep. As well as number 5, if you're stressed out, if you're irritable all the time, it could be that hormonal imbalance with your leptin resistance. As well as number 6 on the list is, here we go, low energy. So you're fatigued all the time, because remember, your hormones aren't working optimally, and you're going to be, energetic at the wrong times, maybe going for the caffeine. You're going to be tired at the wrong times, and you don't have that regular sleep schedule with circadian, biology. This is a problem. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure that we're fixing the leptin resistance. And number 7, of course, pain and chronic inflammation. So that inflammatory response is heightened because of the leptin resistance. Okay, guys, guess what? It is quiz time. So if you're here for the first time, this is so fun. So throughout the show, we have different quiz questions, and you have the ability to win a free prize. Okay, so this week we're playing for the AccuBlood Sugar Balance from our sponsors at VitaTree Nutritional. So we thank them for supplying Of course, all of our prizes every week. I will be announcing last week's winner in just a few minutes, so stay tuned for that. But it is quiz time, okay? So the pressure's on. No, I'm just kidding. So you just have to do your best, and even if you don't answer correctly, all I want you to do is put your answer into the comment section, no matter what platform you're on, okay? And you're gonna have 30 seconds once you see that question come up and I stop talking. 30 seconds, get your answers in. This one is, I think, pretty simple for those of you who have been here for a little while, but it was content from what I just talked about, so I hope you're paying attention. Is everybody ready? Okay, let's go. All right, here we go. Quiz question number 1. Name a cause of leptin resistance. Okay, we just went through that list. Get your answers in now. You got 30 seconds. Good luck, everyone. All right, everyone. We've got 15, 14, 13 seconds on the clock. I hope everybody's getting your answers in. Good job. I see a lot of good answers. Yes, I see that there was some good paying of attention. Good job. Okay, time's up. Everybody got their answers in? Yes, yes, yes. Oh, some people, Tara had like multiple answers. Amazing, amazing. God first, I see that as well. Good job. Okay, everybody, okay. All right, time's up. Everybody got their answers in? Okay, yes. So some of those causes of leptin resistance, let's go through them. So the polyunsaturated fatty acids, so bad fats in the diet, carbohydrates, too many carbohydrates, of course, too much alcohol, or even just a little bit of alcohol for some people is too much. If you've got this problem with your hormones happening, especially if you're trying to lose weight, get rid of the alcohol. Insulin, of course, and insulin resistance, lack of natural sunlight exposure, not being grounded. I saw a lot of people say, not cold enough. D, Jamaican born, yes, absolutely. Good answer. Blue light, EMF exposure, stress, inflammation, and leaky gut as well. So there was a list. You still have a few more opportunities for quiz questions, so stay tuned for that. Okay, now let's announce our winner from last week, and it was Karina Renaga. Is it Renaga? Sorry. I'm trying to say Lady Gaga at the same time. Renaga, 617. Congratulations, you're the winner of our probiotics from VitaTree. Thank you so much for participating. And don't forget, everyone, you still have a couple more opportunities, okay, to answer questions from this week. And make sure you are following Team Dr. J9. So to be our lucky winner on some platforms, and if you're seeing commenting coming from Team Dr. J9, that is our team here at the Dr. Janine Show that helps to answer the questions as we're live, okay? So make sure you're following that so that we can reach you and get your address so that if you are a lucky winner for this week. Okay, now let's talk about some of the diseases that can be correlated to having that leptin resistance. Now we will be coming back and talking, and over there you may have seen my little happy smiley face balls and squishy balls and things. That's going to help to explain probiotics. So we're coming back to that for gut health, gas and bloating. I will be going back there. But let's talk about some of the diseases that can be correlated to leptin resistance. And there is a big group of them, and they are the autoimmune disorders. So this is where the inflammation plays a big part in terms of what's happening with that inflammatory response. And what they do is the leptin resistance causes that overall inflammation and systemic inflammation, but increases the inflammatory cytokines like TNF-A and interleukin 6. And interleukin 6 actually looks in chemical structure very similar to leptin. So now the system is overreacting to that inflammation that's happening. There's a number of diseases that can be related to that leptin resistance. So let's go through the list really quickly, because if this is you or someone that you know, there needs to be an awareness now about if you really truly want to get that to the root cause of dealing and actually reversing some of this disease process that's happening. And I don't like to say the word cure, but I think anything is possible, that you've got to treat the leptin issue, okay? So this is so important. So let's see. What's on our list? Lupus, serious autoimmune disorder related back to the leptin resistance, okay? Next one. Rheumatoid arthritis. Yeah, how common is that? Whoever talks about leptin? Again, this is why I do this education piece. Okay, number 3, non-alcoholic fatty liver. It's like every second adult now has fatty liver disease. There's no treatment for it. in conventional medicine. Where are we getting this from? Okay, so I have a lot of videos on fatty liver. If you're new in here, make sure after today's show that you're going to check out some of my content on fatty liver, linking back again to that leptin resistance. Okay, number 4, Graves or Hashimoto's. So where's my thyroid? Well, my thyroid, I know where my thyroid is, but here's my model thyroid, right? So yeah, that thyroid gland, super important that we're optimizing our leptin signaling to help with our thyroid. Sometimes you don't even have a thyroid issue, and this was me. I mean, my thyroid hormones were out of whack, and I was able to reverse all of that by fixing my leptin resistance. Some people don't even have diagnosed thyroid issues, so it's not a thyroid thing, yet you have all the symptoms of low or high thyroid. It's actually a leptin issue. So super, super important. In Graves, Hashimoto's, which of course are both autoimmune. Please hit that share button. Thank you, Rhonda, for sharing, and Rhonda for following. Thank you for tuning in for the first time. It's so great to have you here. I'm Dr. Janine, naturopathic doctor, and we do this every Tuesday at this time, so make sure you're tuning in. Also tomorrow, we will be having a Q&A session, so you'll be able to ask your questions of me. That's happening tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so make sure you're tuned in tomorrow. Yes, thank you so much. Okay, and it's hashtag Ask Dr. Janine. So if you're one of those hashtagging kind of people, start using that hashtag, and it will definitely populate into all of our programming behind the scenes, okay? So start using that hashtag. Amazing, amazing, thank you. And VT Fermenter Chick with Hashimoto's and Graves, yeah, exactly. That whole thing is related back to the leptin resistance, and that's why this piece of information in today's show is so, so important, because it's an eye-opener, I know, for a lot of you, that how can this be related to this? Oh my God, Gwendolyn, thank you for the big donation. Amazing, amazing. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Everybody's so generous here. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, now let's continue. Number 5, also related, type 1 and type 2 diabetes. And that autoimmunity tied back to that leptin resistance, okay? Number 6, we're talking about the gut, irritable bowel, and of course, ulcerative colitis. I would put Crohn's into here as well. So really important that we go back and fix that leptin resistance. And number 7, MS. Yeah, serious, serious diseases related back to what's happening with your circadian biology, with your leptin signaling. So, so important, okay? So now let's go to and talk a little bit about that fat and that weight gain, diabetes, metabolic syndrome, leptin resistance. How are these all tied into one another? Now we will be coming into the kitchen in just a second, into the beauty set, and I'm going to be sharing a fantastic recipe for a hair rinse. So for great hair growth, for shine, to remove buildup on your hair, super simple. But let's first talk about that metabolic syndrome, that diabetes, and blood sugar. Now what's happening with metabolic syndrome, and we've talked about this before, it could be related to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, of course tying back to that leptin signaling, high blood pressure, low HDL, high triglycerides, high fasting blood glucose levels, fatigue, inability to focus. There could be browning in the neck folds around the neck. There could be skin tags as well, another sign of that metabolic syndrome. And the insulin resistance, again, usually it's the leptin resistance that happens first before the insulin resistance. So this is why it's so important. Now, what is happening from a mechanistic, for all the science, nerdy people out there, what's happening is that high leptin levels destroy a protein called amylin. And that is secreted. Now I need the pancreas, please. Let's grab the pancreas, really quickly. So in our pancreas, of course, the pancreas secretes our insulin in the beta cells, and that protein, that amylin, is secreted by the beta cells of the pancreas as well. And so what happens is that when that gets destroyed from the high leptin levels, is now we no longer have that proper insulin secretion. So what does that mean? What happens to our blood sugar? Yes, it goes up. And we also know that amylin is a protein that helps to suppress hunger. So now we've got high blood sugar, high hunger, and what's going to happen? Can I have the fat again, please? Of course. We're going to get fatty liver, and maybe I'll take the liver there from you as well. So we're going to get, with the metabolic syndrome, we're going to get that weight gain. Where does it happen? Usually around the midsection. So in the guys, they call it the apple shape, or in the women, they call it the pear body shape. So that central obesity, but also that fatty liver. And here's my fatty liver, if you can see that there really quickly. So you can see how this is all tied back now to what's happening because of the leptin and the leptin resistance. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, so give me some thumbs up. Thank you so much for double tapping your screen, all those lights coming in. Thank you for all those hearts coming in as well. I appreciate all the love. Awesome, awesome to have you all here today. Okay, so how do we fix the leptin resistance? I've got a ton of videos. I wanted to call out this one because it's 3 simple tips. Let's take a look at it really quickly. 3 simple tips to fix your leptin resistance. Check this out. Here are 3 tips to fix leptin resistance. Now, if you don't know what leptin resistance is, please check out my other content. I explain what's going on with this signaling and how this affects your weight, your metabolism, your thyroid, all of your hormones, and your energy levels, and your mitochondrial health. Tip number 1 that helped me the most was not eating after 7 p.m. So you got to go to bed on an empty stomach to have that proper leptin signaling. Tip number 2 was getting cold. So cold exposure, whether that was the cold showers that I do, ice packs on my body, really great to do that cold exposure for the leptin as well. And tip number 3 is every single morning, I make sure that I see that early morning sunlight in my eyes, on my skin as much as possible, even in the colder months, getting grounded at the same time as well to fix that leptin signaling. Follow for more natural health tips. Okay, awesome, awesome. So I hope that helps you start using those tips. Really important to see that early morning sunlight as you saw. Get cold whenever you can. The cold shower is amazing. I've got tips on how to do that, so please do check out my content if you're here for the first time. Okay, we're at quiz question number 2. Is everybody ready? I hope you were paying attention. Okay, even if you're tuning in right now, just do your best. And this is a true-false question coming up, and we're playing for the AccuBlood Sugar Balance from our great sponsors at VitaTree Nutritionals. Is everybody ready? Question number 2. All right. It's easy. Okay, you got 30 seconds. Once you see it, true or false? Leptin resistance can lead to Hashimoto's disease. I want to see everybody put your answers in. You got a 50-50 chance. Okay, get your answers in now. 30 seconds. Let's go. Gracie, thank you for the follow. Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you for sharing today's live as well. Hey, after you get your answer in, hit that share button a few times, okay? I want to get more people in on the fun. Amazing. We keep hitting these great milestones in terms of people viewing and sharing and doing all those things, which is amazing. Thank you. And so many messages that are coming through. It's hard to keep up sometimes, which is amazing though. And that's why I have my team behind the scenes. Okay, we're out of time. Everybody got your answers in? All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amazing. So what's our answer? Yes. Of course, it is true. So yes, the Hashimoto's can very much be related to what's going on with your leptin signaling. All right, so let's continue. I promised I would talk about gut health and probiotics. There's a lot of misinformation about probiotics and what is the best type to take. And probiotics, are really an integral part of having that healthy microbiome. And we have over 80% of our immunity actually comes from having a healthy gut. So we can have an unhealthy gut and something called dysbiosis versus a healthy gut. Let's get our healthy gut back in. Now, we will be going to the beauty set in just a second. I'm going to be talking about that hair rinse, which is so amazing for hair growth and to remove any type of buildup that's on your scalp and your hair for dandruff as well. So that is coming up and it's super simple. Okay, so probiotics. And this is what I often show on television when I'm on live TV as well. Yes, if you've seen me on television here in Canada, you may have seen me talk about probiotics. Now let's start with the unhealthy microbiome, okay? This means that some of those less favorable organisms, it could be intestinal parasites, it could be worms, it could be less favorable, bacteria and things and their eggs that have built up. And it could be candida, which is that fungal issue as well. And this could be, one of those things that will cause the gas, the bloating, the compromised immunity, because all of that, most of that immunity is coming from having that healthy microbiome. We're actually more microorganisms in our body than what we are human cells. And you can see on the screen behind me that unhealthy gut is kind of what I call the swamp thing, because what's happening is that those bad guys are taking over. We want to have more of the good guys. Now, what are the good guys? The good guys are the probiotics. They're healthy, live microorganisms. So if you've ever eaten yogurt or sauerkraut or kimchi or some pickles even, if you make them yourself, have probiotics. Even sourdough bread, probiotics, because it's fermented. And this is something that our healthy gut wants to have, more of those healthy probiotics, the healthy, good gut flora. So this is something that can affect our poops. Yes, we couldn't have a show without me talking about poop, of course, so welcome in our famous poop ladder. Now, this is important. So having healthy bowel movements every day, really, really important. Now, when your unhealthy microbiome doesn't have enough of the good guys, the probiotics, what happens is that you can get constipation. You can have lighter stools. You can also have some stools that are looking like sort of like the pencil stools. All my poops are stuck to the platter. Forgive me, here we go. The pencil-like poops, and that is a problem. That could be sort of the IBS types of things. Often, you know, with constipation, you can get some of those pencil stools as well. So this is really important that we're optimizing those healthy gut flora, our probiotics. And there's different types of probiotics certainly that you can take. There's some things to look out for, and that's what I'm going to share next, what to look out for in a healthy probiotic. Now, we do have our final quiz question coming up as well, so stay tuned for that. You still have an opportunity to get your answers in to win a prize. Okay, let's take a look at what we're supposed to look for in our good probiotics. Okay, so number one, we want to make sure that those strains are actually designed for your human digestive tract. There's a lot of different types of strains of probiotics out there. We want to make sure that it is designed for your human digestive tract. And two of my favorite strains are actually on here, the Bifidobacterium bifidum and Lactobacillus acidophilus. So those are two of my favorite strains, amazing, amazing probiotics to get into that good gut flora. Okay, number two. You also want to find a probiotic that contains prebiotics. What the prebiotics do is they feed those probiotics. It's food. One of them is FOS, fructooligosaccharides, is a prebiotic often found in probiotics, helps to feed those probiotics so that they can actually multiply and propagate. They've got food to grow because you really want them to take hold in your gut so that you have that healthier gut microbiome. Okay, number three, here's a big one. You want to make sure that they are acid stable tested. So most probiotics, when you ingest them, they have to get to the small and large intestine. Often, they don't even get past the stomach acid. And this is important because probiotics should be tested to make sure that they actually bypass that stomach acid. So you're looking specifically for strains that have been acid stable tested, okay? So that's really important. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for hitting that like, that share button. And thank you for tuning in today. Hey, if you're here for the first time, put in one in the comments. It's so great to have you here. We do have one more quiz question coming up. And make sure that you share and you are continuing to send in all those likes. And so many gifts came in as well, so generous donations to the channel. So thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I can't always call everyone out, but thank you so much. I love the fact that you're here. Sassy Pants, Liz, Luna, Mr. Romeo. There's so many new people here today. Princess Fardoos, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing today's live, and thank you for being a new subscriber, new follower as well. Great to have you here. Okay. And by the way, we do this every Tuesday at this time zone, okay? So make sure you tune in next week as well. All right, let's continue with the list. Probiotics, make sure that they have no magnesium stearate or vegetable stearic acid. That's a chemical that they use to help to speed up production times. And if it's in a capsule, a probiotic is going to have this, okay? There's very, very few probiotics out there that don't have magnesium stearate, but you can find them, okay? So if you've got those questions, make sure you put in the comments and we'll direct you to the right place. Okay, number 5, make sure they're actually alive. So this is where you have to entrust in the company from, you know, a trusted company that is sending you the probiotics in terms of, you know, manufacturing practices, that it's actually alive, because a lot of what you get in a store may not be alive, okay? And number 6, and they actually have studied that, that they, you know, went into the shelf and they found that most of the probiotics were actually dead. They weren't even alive. And number 6, make sure it's coming from a reputable GMP company. So that should be on the label. It says GMP, good manufacturing practices. Make sure you're looking for that when you're purchasing probiotics. Okay, so I do want to say thank you to all of my generous donations, all of my super fans that are out there. Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for everybody who tunes in every single week. It's so great to have you here. If you're, hey, here for the first time, which I know Lassus, Beverly, Kale, Gabber, 3, so many people here for the first time, and Ramona, thank you for tuning in. It's so great to have you all here. Okay, now, we're going into the beauty set. And I like to have a little beauty segment in every show because I think it's, and one of those important things. Yes, what we do internally is super important, usually the most important thing in terms of our external beauty. But hey, there's some natural things that exist that can help our external beauty as well. So we will come over here now into the beauty set. And I've got a fast hack. So this is something that is amazing. So if you have any type of buildup, and most people, if you wash, condition, put product in your hair, you're gonna have a buildup that you may not even know that is there, that builds up over time. And that can affect not only the growth of your hair, but the health of your scalp. So if you're getting dandruff or flakiness and itchiness and dryness on the scalp, this is going to be the most wonderful thing. Even the way that you style your hair will change because the softness of your hair will come back if you've got that product buildup. And I'm telling you, most people do if you do all of those things like I do for my hair, okay? So doing this, and it's so simple, just find some apple cider vinegar, okay? And that's all you're gonna do. So you're going to wet your hair, and you're gonna pour, and I did this for my son the other day. He had buildup and all kinds of like knots and things happening. Basically, I put him over the sink. I used almost, and it was a bigger bottle than this, I used almost the entire bottle and poured it slowly through his dampened hair. So we wet it first, you pour it through the hair, and then you just let it sit maybe for a minute or so, and then you just rinse it out with the water. Then I just shampooed and conditioned as usual. But I swear, I could literally see that buildup of all the product and stuff that was on his hair just like melting and coming right off. It was incredible, incredible. And you would think, okay, and I actually massaged it into the scalp as well, which is amazing to help to cleanse the scalp and to refresh. And you would think, yeah, it's a little bit, it's vinegar, it's acidic. Yeah, but that acid, which is naturally occurring, of course, in the apple cider vinegar, helps to naturally wash that all away. Amazing, amazing. I hope you try this. I'm telling you, it is one of the best things that you can do for your hair. And talk about the shine and how soft his hair was afterwards, because he's all about his hair, and he went to school and he's like, I was like, how was it? Because I know the girls and everybody likes to touch his hair. How was it at school with your hair? Oh, it was very good, Mommy. Well, he doesn't call me Mommy anymore, but it was very good, Mom. Yes, it was. It was very good. Okay, so that was amazing. I hope you try that out. You're going to love it. Thank you so much. Okay, yes, you want me to repeat really quickly? Okay, so yes, it's using the apple cider vinegar for that hair rinse. So all you're gonna do, yes, okay, Erica, I'm gonna repeat really quickly. So all you're gonna do is so you're gonna wet the hair first, then you're gonna pour a bunch of straight, you're not diluting this, straight apple cider vinegar into the hair. Make sure you close your eyes because it's very acidic, so you don't want to get this in your eyes. You let it sit for about a minute and then rinse it out with water, and then shampoo, condition, and style as you normally would, okay? And that is amazing for melting away any product buildup that is in there. Okay, everybody's good? Okay, awesome. Thank you for everybody who tuned in today. And all right, we are at quiz question number 3. Is everybody ready? Okay, this is a true or false question. You've got 30 seconds on the clock. Once you see that question, this should be pretty simple. I think we just talked about this. Yes, we did. All right, here we go. True or false? You got 30 seconds. Probiotics should be tested to bypass stomach acid. Everybody get your answers in, okay? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, DMACXK77 for the follow. Great to have you here today. Thank you so much for tuning in. So many new followers. And Dwayne got his answer in. Nariev, Sunshine Mumsy is here. Hello, hello. Hillary Lachelle, everybody's getting their Arena, got her answer in. Tana, okay, good job, everyone. How many? Oh, 10 seconds left. Okay, remember you're playing for a prize, so just guess something, true or false. We're playing for a prize, and make sure you're following Team Dr. Jane. Okay, we're out of time. Everybody got their answers in? If I continue to talk, we'll give you a few more seconds. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Okay, we got it? Okay, so the answer, of course, is true. Yes, so probiotics that you take, you can always call the company and ask, has it been tested to be acid stable? Good question. Okay, so awesome, awesome. I hope that you use this information to your advantage. If you're just tuning in, we talked about leptin, we talked about hormones, we talked about weight gain, we talked about autoimmunity, how that's related to what's going on with your leptin resistance. We talked about the scary things found in synthetic vitamins and what to look for on a label. If you want to call up any of that information, just let me know, put it in the comments. I can bring up that vitamin label and we can go through that. If you'd like to see that, or anything else that you may have missed because you're just tuning in. We also talked about probiotics today as well. So that, and this is something that we're definitely wanting to focus in on, having that healthy gut microbiome, because that has a lot to do with our immunity, with our gut health, our digestion, our metabolism, our weight gain or weight loss, fatty liver. I mean, it's all tied into, yes, the leptin, but also our gut health as well. And thank you. Okay, so Liz was saying something, heard about taking, I'm guessing, probiotics within 5 minutes of waking up so that it bypasses the stomach acid. In technicality, that stomach acid is waiting for food though. So the first thing you're going to put in is it's going to start working. So I don't believe that would be quite right. You've got to find the right strains of your probiotics to be able to make sure that it's getting to the small and large intestine, especially the ones that, you know, work on like the acidophilus and the bifidus that are supposed to get to the small and large intestine, which is great. Okay, so Lopez Vero 79, weight gain, can't seem to lose it as fast as you did previously. Leptin resistance, that was, you know, we talked a lot about that today, and we actually showed you one of the clips for some of my tips for leptin resistance. So one of those things is to stop snacking, don't eat after, you know, dark. So no snacking after dinner. That will help with your leptin signaling because it's hormonally based. It's actually, so weight gain often is an inflammatory disorder that starts in the brain. It's not even about the calories or, you know, what you're eating or not eating or how much you're exercising or not exercising. It's about the brain. So getting off of your devices with your, you know, wearing your blue light blocking glasses at all times. If you're under, you know, and on your screens, you've got your blue light blocking glasses on. Super, super important, okay? Yes, okay, good question. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know that there's conversations happening behind the scenes. Amazing. Thank you, thank you. Yes, and Carl, thank you for tuning in. It's great to have you here. Awesome. And here we go. Thank you for all the donations that came in. So Ramona, thank you so much. And Gwendolyn, thank you so much for your generosity today. Amazing job. Thank you. You know, you really truly are the best fans, I have to say, that are out there, because you tune in and you're dedicated. You answer my questions. We play fun games. You help me to fill in the blanks sometimes. And you've got the best questions, and of course the donations as well, helping to support the channel, which is amazing. So thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in. Now don't forget, tomorrow, I just want to call this out really quickly. Please tune in tomorrow, because whichever questions I can't get to in the live shows on Tuesdays, now we're opening up Wednesdays when I am in town and able to do it. And of course, Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be answering your questions and doing a live Q&A. So you've got an opportunity to answer, you know, ask your questions on Wednesdays at that time. So please tune in tomorrow, because we're going to be starting that. We also have a new podcast coming. Special announcements as well, so please make sure that you're following and that you are subscribed, because there's a lot of newness coming this year. I'm super excited. Working on the final stages of my third book right now, which is due to launch, we're praying, this year, okay? So I'm super excited about that. It is, and it's a lot about what I talk about in the live shows and in all my content. So yeah, so make sure you stay tuned and you're following. And, you know, just, you know, drop a line when you see, you know, just drop a little heart or something in the comment sections of my videos. When you are subscribed and you're following me, of course, you're getting my feeds. You're getting a lot of the new content that we put out every single day, based on the research, of course, based on my years of working as a naturopathic doctor, based on me being a mom. Hey, I've got 5 kids, and I think I'm going to open up a little series for moms, because there's a lot of information and misinformation as to what you can do naturally for your kids and in your homes as well. So that's something that, hey, who wants more mom content? Let me know, because that, I think, is super important, that we are, you know, really important that we are doing the best things that we can, and more naturally, of course. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Hello in Nigeria, nice to see you. Good evening. I hope you're having a great evening. Thank you for tuning in. Sunny, hello, nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in. So if you're just tuning in now, today we talked about leptin resistance, we talked about insulin resistance. On certain platforms, you can always go back and rewatch the show, so you didn't really miss anything, so make sure you're looking for it. And we talked about some of the scary things to look for in synthetic vitamins, and we talked about gut health and probiotics as well, and different types of probiotics, and kind of some of the things that you really really need to look for in a high quality probiotic. Remember, tomorrow it is Ask Dr. Janine, so that hashtag, so make sure that you tune in tomorrow to ask me your questions more specifically. I do have to say goodbye. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It was a great show. Make sure you tune in next week, because next week we will be continuing a conversation about some of the topics a little bit. So in terms of the leptin resistance, leptin signaling, we will be talking about that, because that's important, and some of the other things that leptin resistance, like fertility issues, can be related to, and that's why fixing that leptin resistance, and probably some more tips next week for the leptin resistance that, you know, to really help you to set you on the right path, because it really did help me in terms of what I said earlier in terms of my own thyroid health and metabolism and energy levels and inflammation in the body. Fixing that leptin resistance was the key thing for me. Okay, thanks for tuning in, everyone. It was so great to have you all here. Love you all. Make sure you have a healthy and happy week. Continue to check out my content, and we'll see you next time.